If you have an e-commerce brand, you cannot be relying on social media for brand awareness and visibility. So if you are an e-commerce brand owner and you want to learn how to get more people to know about your brand without focusing on social media, this video is going to be for you. If social media went down right now, how would new people find your brand? Because you don't have social media. Okay, let's say you have an email list. That's fine. But how are you going to increase and scale your email list if people can't find you besides social media? I'm meaning somebody types in a couple of keywords on Google and your brand pops up on the first page, or your product or your service pops up on the very first page of Google. Sounds interesting to you? Let me teach you something. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naikuya. I am the founder of The Marketing Profit, which is a Christian-based SEO and Pinterest marketing agency where I help e-commerce brands attract more people from search engines to understand who their brand is, so brand awareness, also to increase quality website traffic, so not just random traffic, but people who are actually coming to their website to do some sort of action, whether that's sign up, download, or buy something. And then of course, increase conversion. Make sure you smash that like button and make sure you turn on those notifications so you guys are notified every single time that I post a new video. Scale and grow your business online. So today's video is all about brand awareness. So many of you all right now have so many good brands out there. Whether you're selling a product or you're doing some type of service, and not a lot of people know about it. And you're tired of focusing so much on social media to only get short form results or short-term results. You're tired of word of mouth and having constantly speaking about your brand. And so this video is going to teach you specifically how to increase your brand awareness online using SEO. So that's search engine optimization, and using search engine optimization as your 24-hour salesman. Because what you guys don't realize, if you have an e-commerce shop, your store is open online 24 hours of the day, which means you need to have a 24 hours a day sales associate, and SEO can be your 24 hours a day sales associate. So if you're interested in learning how to increase your brand visibility online or brand awareness with SEO, keep on watching. So I'm going to break this down. I think I have 6. I'm going to break this down into 6 easily digestible tips in order to increase your online brand visibility through search. So using SEO. The first thing, which I think I mentioned in every SEO video that I do, but the first thing is having a good, unique selling point. So that's USP. You have to be able to tell your consumer why you're different than the competitor, because this is all going to be the foundation of how people are going to find you through search. So I want you to think about, if you're like a skincare brand, what makes your skincare products better than your competitor? Okay, if you're a travel brand, what makes your travel content different than your competitor? What's so unique about you that you're going to attract more people and quality traffic? So I want you to get that down first, because if you do not have a unique selling proposition, or if you don't have a unique selling point, it's going to be very hard for you to do any of these other steps that I'm going to talk about. So write down some keywords, do a keyword dump, and I want you to think about your brand as a whole and why your brand is different than your competitor. Going into the next thing that's going to really help you increase your brand awareness through these search engines with SEO is long form content. I can't stress this enough. I don't know why a lot of people think blogging is dead or long form content is dead. So when I say long form content, I'm talking blogs, I'm talking YouTube videos, I'm talking podcasting. So basically anything that's not social media. Social media is short-term content, and that's not going to increase your return on investment at the end of the day. So long form content does a lot. When it comes to blogs can really help increase your authority in the industry, your credibility in the industry, and your trust within the industry. So let me paint you an idea. So say you did your keyword research, right? And you're creating blog posts targeted to the consumer who actually wants to know more about either a product you sell or a service you sell. What that blog post is going to do, if it shows up on the first page of Google and somebody clicks on it, they're going to read this long form content. Automatically, if that content is good, they're going to be like, wow, this brand knows what they're talking about, or wow, this brand is giving so much good information. Or wow, this brand is very knowledgeable about this industry. Oh, they linked products that can help me with the search query that I perform. So let me go off of their blog, click through to their products or services page, and so forth. Now, that's the ideal situation we want our target consumer to take if they find us through search. But long form content is key for this, because in order for Google to really index your site, and when I say index, basically when they're scanning your site, you want to make sure that they're scanning a lot of long form content, meaning blogs. Because at the end of the day, when we go to Google to make a search, right, we're typing in words to either find information about something, whether we need to buy something, or just honestly, even if we want to be entertained. Usually the links that pop up are going to be some type of article, some type of blog, maybe a video or a podcast. It's long form information that we can retain and read over or watch over or listen over again in order for us to really understand that whatever we search. Now, when it comes to social media, you can only put so much in a 15-second clip, in a 15-second like IG reel or TikTok video or 3-minute video, TikTok video. At the end of the day, people are going to want to learn more, and there's not much you can get from an Instagram post or a 3-minute video that's going to answer all the questions for your target audience. So you want to use long form content to drive people to learn more in depth about something that either you're offering or you're selling. So basically, long form content, if it's optimized correctly, which if you want to learn about keyword optimization and SEO, I'll leave a video up in the cards. But if your long form content is structured correctly and it's optimized correctly, and those blog posts show up in search engines, or your YouTube video or your podcast shows up in search engine, this is going to help basically with your brand awareness, because now you're going to be attracting people who knew nothing about your existence before they made that search, and now they're diving into all your long form content, and this in turn is going to build trust with them, it's going to build credibility with your brand, and it's going to build authority. Next thing is link building. Link building is very, very important for increasing your awareness in these search engines. So there's 3 types of link building. There's backlinks, there's outbound links, and there's inbound links. So inbound linking is basically when you're linking pages within your website to each other. So you're keeping people on your website, but just navigating through certain pages. Outbound links is when you're taking people who are visiting your website out to another person's website. So whatever that website is. Now backlinks is what I'm really going to stress about in this video when it comes to brand awareness and increasing your brand awareness through these search engines. So backlinks are when other websites link back to your website. So they're sending traffic to you. Now keep in mind, not all backlinks are quality backlinks. At the end of the day, you can't really control who's linking to your website unless you physically reach out to them and say like, hey, like I see you're linking my website and it doesn't make sense why you're linking. But other than that, the goal is to get a lot of backlinks from websites that are in your industry and that also have a high domain authority and that's also relevant. So what this all basically means. So let's say, for example, I'm a travel influencer, right? And I sell travel products as well. If something like Rail Europe or something like a travel magazine is linking back to my website and sending people my way, because for some reason, let's say they made a blog post and they talk about me as a travel influencer and maybe places that I went, and it's relevant basically to their readers and they link back to me. What this is going to do, this is going to alert Google and say, hey, this big travel brand is linking to this smaller person's website and they're sending so much traffic this way. There has to be something important about this person's website, so we're going to up them up in the rank. So that's kind of basically how it works in a sense. But basically what you want to look at is you can actually see what websites are linking back to you. You can use a free tool like Ubersuggest, type in your website URL. You're going to click on backlinks and see how many people are linking back to you. You're going to want to pay attention to that person's or that brand's domain authority. If they have a domain authority of 50 or more, this is going to be good for your brand. Also, if they have a domain authority of 50 or more and they're actually within your industry, this is also going to be good, because basically if a brand is linking people back to you, and they're in the same industry as you, most likely you guys have the same reader base. You might have completely different products or services, but that reader base is all interested in that one theme, that one industry, so it's going to benefit both of you guys. Now, if you find that you have a lot of backlinks, but it's from like irrelevant websites or websites that just don't make sense of why they're linking to your website or your web page, then you could just reach out to them and be like, hey, can you just take my, why are you linking to me basically, or can you remove my website because it's not relevant or so forth. But at the end of the day, you want good quality backlinks. So make sure that you are obtaining these backlinks through collaborations. You can reach out to brands for a blog pitch, and just make sure like, hey, can you link back to me? So do some blog outreach. That's what I usually do. I email different brands that are expert in the industry for my clients just to get those backlinks, and then we'll provide like blog posts or maybe a video or a podcast. And at the end of the day, our goal is to have them link back to us because we know they have a high domain, because we know they have a high domain authority because we checked on a free tool like Uber Suggest. And we know that if they send traffic our way because they're in the same industry, it's just gonna help us more. So backlinks is key. Hopefully that made sense. I explained more about backlinks in a recent SEO video that I did, so I will leave that down in the description box as well as somewhere in the cards up here. Next way to increase your brand awareness through search engines is to optimize your web pages or products for certain key phrases. Now, when I say key phrases, these are keywords. So basically, you want your ideal target customer to go to Google, type in a key phrase. So a key phrase is about like 3 to 6 words. Type those words in, hit enter, and you want your web page or your products or service to show up on the first page results for them to be able to access it easily, and they can get all the information they need from there. So in order to target the right keywords or the key phrase, you're going to have to do some keyword research. You're going to have to do some competitor analysis. You're going to have to basically figure out what keywords have a high search volume but low competition, so that way you can target these keywords so Google can recognize like, hey, I have information on these key phrases, make sure it's optimized correctly, and they can put that information in the search results for anybody who's searching those exact key phrases. If you want to learn more about keyword research, I won't go over that in this video, but I do have a video all about it. And once again, I will leave that video down in the description box. The next thing that's going to increase your brand awareness is your technical SEO. Now, it indirectly affects your brand awareness through search engines, but let's just say that you have a mobile site that's just not easy to read, it's not easy to navigate. Google is aware of this, and if you're being shown in the search engines and people are going to your mobile site and they're bouncing right back off, that your search engine ranking can actually decrease because of that. So you're going to be put farther back on the pages. So if you want to increase your page rankings, just make sure your technical SEO, so like mobile page speed, navigation, easy to read, make sure all of that is good. You can always do a mobile friendly free test. Literally, if you go to Google and type in mobile friendly test, you'll be able to input your URL domain into that box and then hit enter, and it will literally tell you what's wrong with your mobile site, if there's anything wrong, and it will tell you how to fix it. But if you have a bad mobile user experience, because we're all using phones these days to make search, if you have a bad user experience, it is going to affect your brand awareness through search engines because Google won't show your website through search engines. So I just wanted to add that as a little extra tip. Last tip is actually having a personal brand. Now, this also indirectly affects SEO, but basically what I mean by this, if somebody finds your brand through a search result and they're going onto your website, before they buy from you, they're most likely going to do their research. They're going to look to see if you have any testimonials from past customers or case studies from past clients. They're also going to go to your social media accounts. So this is where social media does play a huge role with SEO, because once they find you through search engines using Google and they find your website and then they want to find more about who you are as a brand or who the person behind the brand is, they're going to go to your social media profile. And if your social media profile isn't up to date, or you don't have a social media, it could actually tarnish the awareness. So basically that person's gonna be like, okay, I really don't know much about this brand. I don't know who's really behind this brand. They don't really share any customer reviews or this brand basically doesn't have a social presence to them, then that person is probably just going to click back and they're not going to remember your brand in their head, and therefore they're just going to make a whole nother search. So make sure that you do have a social media presence, and you want to have a social media presence on the platforms where your consumers are at most. So if most of your consumers are on Pinterest, then you need to be on Pinterest. If most of your consumers are on LinkedIn, then you need to be on LinkedIn. Same thing for TikTok and Instagram. If most of your target consumers are on those platforms, then you need to have a social presence on there. This is key, because I even do this as well. If I'm looking to buy something, especially if it's a product that like a really sensitive product, if it has to do with something I'm putting on my skin and I'm trying to support a small business, I want to make sure that first of all, you're legit. I want to make sure who the person is behind the brand. I want to make sure, if I want to kind of feel the vibe of that brand. So I'll go to your social media account. I'll look at your story highlights. I'll look at your content. I'll look to see if you posted any reels. I'll look to see if you currently posted any Instagram stories, so I can understand who you are as a person, or who your brand is as a brand. And that's probably the last factor that's going to make me go back to your website and buy from you. So personal brand is key, guys, because at the end of the day, your personal brand is probably the biggest factor over SEO that's going to have somebody pick you over somebody else. So have a personal brand attached to your brand, your website, and make sure on your website you're linking out to your social media content, so people can find you online, understand who your brand is, or who the person behind the brand is as a person. So that brings me to the end of this video. I shared, I think, 6 tips in order to increase your brand awareness through search engine optimization, so SEO. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure that you subscribe, like this video, and turn on those bell notifications, so that way you are notified every single time I post a new video about SEO that will help you increase your online awareness or visibility through search engines. Get more people to know more about your brand, get more website traffic, and ultimately get more conversions. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video.